today we are looking at a very fascinating movie. The new Mario movie coming out. Whoa! With the weird looking the Goombas and the Mad Max vibes. That new movie coming out with Chris Pratt.
Oh yeah, I know all about Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. I just want to pat him, you know? I can't contain myself. I'm so excited.
Me, when I see Chris Pratt in person, you just need a Chris Pratt.
No, but ladies and gentlemen, today we are here to talk about a very interesting movie.
Yes,
The Super Mario Bros. 1993. I had to put that in the title because you don't want to get it mixed up with the new movie coming out.
Which we might also talk about because we both want to see it.
Yeah.
But yes, we're talking about the Super Mario movie.
1993.
1993. Yes. Oh, yes, 1993. So sorry.
Yes, you don't want to get those two movies mixed up, Jet, because one could be really bad and one could be really good.
But I want to know, like, what are your thoughts about the movie without spoiling it yet before we go through it?
What a shit show. What a shit show. You could retitle this movie Two Plumbers Go on an Acid Trip, and then it would make more sense. Because me watching this movie, I'm like, how is that? Who is... I don't like it. That was my thoughts. What about yours, Jet?
As much as I was expecting it to be a little bit of a
No,
letdown.
don't tell me you liked it.
No, I'm not gonna say I liked it, but you know what? I was just gonna say that it's such a product of its time, and I think Mario, the game, the actual character, came out in 1986, I think. Right, 1980 something.
I don't know. Someone cross-checked the dates.
Okay, I'm gonna stick to that. 1986 or around that. It was in the 1980s. This movie came out not even 10 years after Mario was out, and there wasn't as much lore as there is now, because now there's Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Odyssey, all this and that. So now there's so much more.
You act like the Mario lore is like this intense lore, this intense chapter in Mario's journey, where the lore is so dense and so thick. It's incredible.
Some people treat it that way. I mean, I'm not too heavy into the Mario stuff. I like Nintendo and their products and all that. I have a Switch. I've had a Wii. I had the Nintendo 64 when I was growing up.
It does not resemble the games at all, though, Jet. If you remove the title sequence with the title, and then you just put this on and gave no context, you would only be able to work out this is a Mario movie by the time they put on their green and red outfits. Because I swear, there's no way to tell this is a Mario movie.
Yeah, you know what? And one thing that bothered me, I'm glad you brought up the outfits, because I think Mario and Luigi, they're very iconic characters, and you can very easily distinguish them by their red and their green. In the beginning of the movie, they don't have that signature color, but the fact that Luigi ran around in a red hoodie, I was like, that doesn't make much sense.
It makes no sense.
Luigi could have been wearing a green hoodie. That would have made sense. It didn't have to be bright green. It could have been dark green. And then later when he got his suit, bright green. That makes sense, right?
It kind of felt like the movie was all about Luigi at some points.
It did.
Daisy gets kidnapped, and but
right.
Isn't it about Mario and Princess Peach?
Well, since you're bringing up Daisy now and that being a change and not being the traditional Peach being kidnapped and stuff, I think we should start from the beginning for everybody so we don't jump around everywhere.
Oh, well, Jet, why don't you just tell me exactly what era and whatnot, Where are we on the Mario timeline?
Brooklyn, 65 million years ago, and Echo was making fun of me for having that fact down.
I will say this, it is super weird that the movie opens and it's 64-bit as well, because I guess they're trying to resemble the games. But then you hear a bloody mafia boss be like, the dinosaurs were around, then they were walking here.
A long time ago, the Earth was ruled by dinosaurs.
And then all of a sudden, oh look, an asteroid hit the dead. And I was like, why do we have a New York crime boss opening this movie? Who is that?
That's how mafia works.
And first of all, it's it wasn't Brooklyn 65 million years ago, because 65 million years ago, it wasn't anything.
This is what threw me in a loop. When all of a sudden it hits, and then the narrator guy mentioned something about a parallel dimension where dinosaurs went to another dimension. I'm like, what the fuck? What is going on right now?
And then the movie starts with
there's a woman.
There's always a woman. Anyway, she drops off this basket. That scene from Meet the Robinsons where the mother drops off the kid. But it wasn't just a carrier that had a baby in it. It was a carrier that had an egg.
When I saw this, I was thinking, Is Yoshi gonna pop out of this egg?
No, literally. I thought the same thing. I was like, what?
Is Yoshi just gonna pop out and start beating up these nuns? Like, I didn't know what was going on.
And then it starts with like Mario and Luigi in their apartment. Mario's getting a call.
Just two normal guys. Definitely not Mario, definitely not Luigi.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
two normal guys struggling in New York.
It goes to this other scene where there's this one girl and she's like an archaeologist digging up fossils. There's this site that she works for a university and she's
It's
trying to
Mother Truckin' Daisy, not Peach Daisy.
I thought that was gonna be Peach before she said her name.
I thought so as well. It's so weird.
But yeah, we're at the archaeology site. There's this guy who pulls up. What was his name? Scapelli. Then the Scapelli people are like, "Hey, we want you out of here so we can plumb the pipes or whatever." I don't know what plumbers do.
Plumb the pipes.
I don't know, man. They wanted to do something in that zone that was already like dug. But anyways, Daisy's all like, "You can't do that." And she's like, let me go call the university. And then she walks halfway across the town to go find a
I
phone.
know, right? It looked like a completely different location of the city.
Yeah, and then that's where she ends up running into Mario and Luigi because their truck broke. And then Daisy walks up waiting her turn to use the payphone. Luigi was all like, basically his mouth just dropped.
Yeah.
And the person on the phone's still talking. And then all he does is he like offers the phone to Daisy.
I like how he doesn't even hang up. He just loses the client. The man just
Yeah,
lost the client. Why
exactly.
wasn't Mario just like coming over and clapping his cheeks out of frustration? Oh, also, Jet, you missed something important. There were these two creepy guys following her.
I'm glad you brought them up too, because they're supposed to be Spike and Iggy from the games, obviously.
Yeah, I didn't know who they were or who they represented. I was not familiar with Spikes and Iggy, so I'm like, who are these guys?
Yeah, because they're trying to kidnap Daisy because they're trying to bring her over to their world because she has this like stone necklace it's part of a meteorite, which is
she had since she was a baby.
Yeah, yep,
Right?
that she has since she was a baby. Yep. So obviously, like Luigi's like been flirting with Daisy and stuff like that, and so he says to her,
If you want to end this right now and you feel bad about that, but you want to talk to somebody about it, you can call me.
What the fuck? I do not remember that.
like, damn, Luigi, like that's so me.
Luigi's trying to get on the rebound already. Like for himself. He's trying to be the rebound guy.
Yeah, pretty much. I just thought that was so funny, and that was such a good line.
I don't remember the exact circumstances of the incident, but Daisy gets kidnapped. She gets rolled up on, by two knuckleheads, Knucklehead 1, Knucklehead 2. What were their names, Jet?
Spike and Iggy.
Spike and Iggy, because they look so much like their Nintendo video game counterparts. They roll up, they just kidnap Daisy, and Mario and Luigi are like, oh shit, we gotta help her. They walk over to this weird looking wall thing, Jet. It's like a spongy wall. I don't think this was intended to be like a reference to it, but I was like, oh, it's like the paintings in Mario 64.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that was a reference. But no, I see where you're coming from though. That would have been creative if it was like behind a painting. That would have been that I would have appreciated.
Yes, I was trying to connect dots so hard, but there were no dots to connect.
You had to like really force them to.
So basically, Daisy pops her head out, and she's like, hey, you gotta help me, guys. And then Mario and Luigi, they like look at each other and they like step into the wall. Now, Jet, do you want to describe the acid trip they went on when they stepped through that wall?
Think of like the Doctor Strange scene in Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, yeah.
Except like the CGI is not good,
Like me watching this movie, I actually was like, the puppeting effects and as well as like the world building is all really good.
We didn't even call it what it's supposed to be called. It's actually the Mushroom Kingdom. But you can't even tell.
Yes.
Yeah. It doesn't click in your brain that that's the Mushroom Kingdom.
That's what's wrong with this movie. Nothing clicked for me. The only thing that clicked was like a little bomb thing. Like, the little bomb that you throw?
The bomb.
Yes, the bomb.
There's this part, Mario and Luigi is a new world. They're like, oh, we don't know where we are, asking for direction. A lot of pretty much all the people there are like brushing them off.
Assholes.
Yeah, they're just assholes to them. And then they run into this like old lady, the sweet little old lady. She's like, "You aren't from around here, are you?"
And then what's bizarre is this big beefy woman comes up behind her, just picks her up, and I was like, "Holy shit!" and just yeets her.
We never saw the granny again in the movie. That's all I'm gonna say.
R.I.P. Granny. Yeah.
And then that lady came in and she took the meteorite necklace. So now she has it, and now it's gone.
Her outfit's super weird though. Like it's red and just a bunch of
Spiky.
spikes.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going on with later in the movie, but oh my god, Mario and her, there's some like sexual tension
Yes,
going
I want to
on.
talk. I want to talk about that when we get to that part. I loved it.
I was thinking to myself, Jet, I was like, I feel like this is Jet's kind of girl.
Oh my god! You know, the funny thing is, I'm gonna save what I'm gonna say for later, but I'm glad you said that because there's something I want to say about it, and I did think about myself.
Oh my god, yeah, I knew it.
Anyways, the whole movie revolves around this meteorite piece that's on Daisy's necklace that when she was being brought to Bowser, or he's called King Koopa in the movie.
That's so weird. What is that? Like, where did that come from?
I don't know.
Why not just Bowser?
I think that is actually maybe just his title. I don't 100% know. He wants this meteorite piece to put it into the bigger meteorite to make it whole again, to merge the worlds again. That's basically the purpose of the movie, what he's trying to do.
My question is, why doesn't King Koopa or whatever just take his army and walk through the wall?
They brought that up in the movie. I don't remember the actual reason.
It's right there. It's just go there, take a few guys. I'm pretty sure people will be like, oh shit. And then end of story, you know?
We also forgot to mention that they ran into Toad before they got taken to jail. And,
Oh, yeah.
and Toad made no sense. He was just this like hippie. Anyway, he was the first person to get transformed into a Goomba.
No, I was like, what the fuck? I was actually baffled they were Goombas. The entire time, every time I saw them, it did not click with me that they are Goombas.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many things in the movie that I was like, why was this a thing? There was a scene where when Mario and Luigi get taken to jail, there was a lady who had her like foot on the cop's neck who was bringing them in, who was doing the paperwork or
Oh my god,
whatever.
I know, right? And I was like, what is this kinky shit?
And then they push Bowser, or King Koopa, I mean, into the de-evolution machine. And then he gets his head stuck in it. And then like when he comes out, his eyes turn like that reptile kind of eye, which you would think,
He's a lizard.
oh, this is going to go into something, right? Oh, he's going to transform into like Bowser, what we know. Never happens. Does not happen.
At the doesn't become a normal dinosaur.
At the very end of the movie, he becomes like a dinosaur. It lasts for like 10 seconds and that's it, you know?
He just melts away.
And then they stole a police car to escape. And I wonder if that was like them trying to reference like Mario Kart. I don't know if Mario Kart was made at that
I
point yet.
really don't think it was. I think it was
I don't think it
just
was.
them in
Yeah.
a car for them being in a car.
Right, yeah.
No?
But I was just trying to connect like references, and it was hard to.
That was almost non-existent.
And then there's this like fungus all around the world. It drops mushrooms. It drops like items, basically. Like imagine like an item cube from like Mario Kart, or whatever. It's basically that.
Imagine
you know?
the question mark thing just spinning.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it dropped them like the bomb, a bullet bill, I think at one point. The whole time with like the fungus, Luigi is like, oh, this fungus seems interesting, and then Mario's brushing it off.
So it's nothing, Luigi. It's nothing. It's just you're on mushrooms. Buzz off.
Yeah, and then it goes to like Daisy in the castle. And nothing super interesting happens here. Just a little bit of like
Yoshi though. Yoshi.
That's literally the only thing I have noted for the castle segment. It was just Yoshi shows up for the first time.
It's just a dinosaur though.
It's just a dinosaur.
It's just a dinosaur.
When I saw it walk onto the screen, I was like, "What the hell is this? This really? Am I watching Jurassic Park? Like the first Jurassic Park?" That's pretty much what I thought with all of like the dinosaur stuff. I thought it looked very much like the first Jurassic Park.
Is this Mario and Luigi going to Jurassic Park? Like what is going on here?
And now I want to tell this part of the story.
the Dommy Mummy with Jet.
The Dommy
let's
Mummy.
go.
So Mario, Luigi, Iggy, and Spike, they all agree to work together to get the meteorite piece back. And they go to this like club. And yeah, so she's a bouncer at this club. Turns out she's a bouncer. Luigi's all like, "Hey Mario, how are we gonna get the meteorite back?" He's like, "Hey, the ladies can't stay in the Mario charm." So he rizzes up the lady, goes up to her, she punches him. She just punches him in the face, and then Mario goes back to her after a second, after like catching his breath again.
Doesn't he say, do it again? And she's like,
Yeah.
I will. And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay, what is this?
This is the point where I'm sure you probably were thinking of me, and I was thinking of me.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. And then she was like, I like a man like that or something. She's like, I'm into that.
Yes. Guys, I'm not into submission. I swear. That was funny.
Jet swears, yeah.
Whatever.
So then the Goombas show up, and there's I think, is it the jealous wife or something of Koopa?
I don't know who she is, to be honest. she's like Bowser's second like hand. Like it's almost like she's the queen almost. Is kind of what it seems like, right? So when the queen puts the meteorite piece into the bigger meteorite to merge the worlds, Mario and Bowser are in the middle of a fight. And they get teleported to the real world where the fossil site was.
Yes. Also, there was a scene when the Twin Towers just disintegrate into thin air, and I'm just sitting there like, ooh, that hasn't aged well.
So Mario and Bowser are fighting in the real world now, and then Bowser shoots Mario with the gun that like de-evolutionary ray.
He turned someone into a monkey.
Yeah, and then so Mario and Bowser fight. Nothing too epic, honestly, just kind of basic. And then big surprise, they defeat Bowser.
He turns into Slender Man at one point though when they're like shooting the beam. I was like, holy shit, that is terrifying.
So they're returned to their world. Daisy can't come because she has to fix things there in that world. And then Mario and Luigi go back to their world. Daisy stays. They're just in their apartment, Mario, Luigi, and Mario's girlfriend. And they're just watching TV and stuff. And then, bam! Barging through the door comes Daisy. Daisy!
With a gun. She's just full on packing.
Daisy full on Mad Max. And then Luigi's like, what's going on? And then Mario doesn't even ask. He's already strapping up. He's like, let's go. And it's so badass.
And then the movie just ends. And you're sitting there like, they were setting up a sequel and it never happened because this movie is dog shit.
Exactly.
Like they were trying to set up the Mario cinematic universe. Well, Jet, you're probably thinking to yourself right now, Jet, I wonder what Shigeru Miyamoto, Mario's creator, thought of this movie, aren't you?
No, not really, actually. No, it wasn't at all.
What did he think of this movie? You know,
I wasn't really thinking that.
Jet, read this out right now, Jet. Read this out. This is his opinion right now.
Shigeru Miyamoto says, I think that they tried very hard, and in the end, it was a very fun project that they put a lot of effort into. The one thing that I still have some regrets about is that the movie may have tried to get a little too close to what the Mario Bros. Video games were. And in that sense, it became a movie that was about a video game rather than being an entertaining movie in and of itself.
Do you want to know what I think from that statement?
He was just trying to do damage control.
Yeah, but to me, from that statement, it sounds like he did not watch this movie. Also, Jet, this movie costed $48 million to make, which is a lot of money, right? Do you think this movie got back in its investment? Because it would have to, in order for a movie to, make a profit, it has to double that amount.
Yeah.
So it needed to make $96 million to break even.
It didn't, did it?
Worldwide, it made $38 million. It was a colossus failure.
Oh my God.
They lost money. Lost money. The production cost $48 million to make, and they only made $38 million.
Oh my God.
This movie must have done something, because Nintendo did not produce another movie until Detective Pikachu. Like, this movie must have been like, they must have looked at it and be like, we are not touching movies for the next century.
All right. Well, that was mine and Echo's thoughts on the Mario movie. If this was your first time, listening to the plot of the Mario movie and you're thinking, I'm so confused right now, don't worry. If you watch the actual movie or just listen to us, you're going to be just as confused. If anything, I think we made it make a little bit more sense.
I think we saved them trauma. I think we've saved a couple of people trauma.
Oh, absolutely. I think listening to this version of it is a lot better than watching the movie itself.
But as always, folks, this has been the Cosmic Wave.
Remember, everybody, stay cosmic out there.
Stay cosmic. That's gonna catch on. Roll the outro.
Roll the outro
theme.
Do you have an outro theme?